This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
You know what's great about your investment account with the big guys? It's actually a time machine. Log in and zoom. Welcome back to 1999. It's time for an upgrade. At Public.com, you can invest in almost everything. Stocks, bonds, options, and more. You could even put your cash to work at an industry-leading 4.1% APY. Leave your clunky, outdated platform behind at Public.com. Go to Public.com and fund your account in 5 minutes or less. Paid for by Public Investing, Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Full disclosures at Public.com/disclosures.
Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/iHeart. Greenlight.com/iHeart.
Want to feel more creative but don't have the right laptop? Lenovo.com can help. Look through our legendary lineup of AI-powered PCs and devices and find the one that fits your passion. Our PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, as well as cutting-edge AI tools, allow students to focus, learn, and create with ease. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Plus, college students and teachers can get 5% off their order. Shop now on Lenovo.com. The future's waiting, and it needs you.
Want to chime in on what's happening with your favorite KFAN program? Make your voice heard on the Bradshaw and Brian text line. Let us know what you have to say by texting your message to 64686. That's 64686. Standard message and data rates apply.
Sorry I'm late. I had another nosebleed. Though it hasn't been bleeding as badly. Like less frequently. I mean, it still bleeds. It pours like a stuck pig when it's bleeding, but it's, I clot up pretty quick. Probably more information you needed to know. You know what else I discovered? I'm having trouble adjusting to the new door handle on the restroom. I slammed my shoulder into it again. I wanted to go back to the door. I liked it. I wanted the door handle repaired because it just spun around like Wheel of Topic. You never do, so you just kind of leaned into the door and it opened, right? I want to go back to that. Now, it's not to the point where I'm going to destroy the door handle. I'm not going to go nuts on it, but I wish it was broke again. I wish it was a revolving door going into the restroom, but that's not going to happen anytime soon. So let's just move on with the rest of our lives and dive into 5, 3, 4.
Time now for 5 questions. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. Question number 1. Programming predicament.
Yeah, the Minnesota Twins are in Cincinnati tonight to take on the Reds. That's at 6:10 p.m. You can watch it on twins.tv. The Lynx take on the Aces tonight at 7 p.m. at Target Center. A win for the Lynx, and they are back in the Commissioner Cup final. You can watch it on FanDuel Sports Network, or you can listen to it right here on the Fan and on the iHeartRadio app. And the Florida Panthers can win the Stanley Cup tonight if they can beat the Edmonton Oilers in Game 6. That game starts at 7 p.m. on TNT. Common, what are you going to do about tonight's
Programming predicament?
Do you have, could you dig up the theme song for Hogan's Heroes? Because I've been recording a bunch of old Hogan's Heroes episodes. If you can find that real quick. I should have told you to do this. You know what we should start doing just so we do something? Because I've been accused of not doing anything new in 20 years. That's Bob Crane on the drums. He was bludgeoned to death with a camera tripod. I know nothing. I know nothing. Bob Crane, Werner Klemperer, John Banner. Survey said guy. Newkirk was, what a survey said guy. Survey says. English guy.
From Family Feud?
Yeah, why can't I remember his name? Survey said. He played Colonel Lieutenant Newkirk. The hell can't I think of his name? Anyways, it doesn't really matter. I guess I would opt for
Richard Dawson.
Richard Dawson. Ivan Dixon. Robert Clary. And Larry Hovis were your main players in Hogan's Heroes. I should say hockey, right? Because it's the cup, but I don't know if I can get myself to do it. Lynx, get to the Western Conference Finals and get back to me. And the Twins are a terrible team. I might take a nap. I guess I will. I might turn on a little. Deuce likes hockey. You know, he was working for the Lincoln Stars, doing camera work and doing in-between period interviews like Gorgie does for the Wild. So I think Deuce and I'll probably opt to watch a little hockey. And my guess is that's your choice?
I'll be watching youth baseball tonight for night 3 of 8 consecutive, potentially 9 consecutive nights of watching baseball games.
Really?
Yeah. In the midst of a grinder this week.
Wow.
One of our children has a baseball game every night of the week. And then if Leo's team advances to the bracket on Sunday, it could be a 9th day in a row.
You wanted kids. Yeah. The sports team can do that.
Question number 2.
Go Vikings, let's win this game. You'll hear us yell for more.
It's now time to take an in-depth look at the state of the Skull.
ESPN.com had a story titled NFL Execs Scouts Pick Their Favorite 2025 Offseason Moves. On the Vikings selection of offensive guard Donovan Jackson with the 24th pick in the NFL Draft, one NFL coordinator said, quote, "You know why I really like this pick? He's going to be a solid 10-year starter. Not sure he's elite, but he will make a few Pro Bowls and he'll be a really good player for a long time." Common, your thoughts?
Do you like English muffin toasting bread?
Yeah.
I love England. It's Deuce's favorite. He eats about a loaf a day. I've been exaggerating, but he loves it. And I'm having some today with my white chicken chili.
I like to use the English muffins for my breakfast sandwiches.
Yeah.
That I make at home.
Yeah. No, but do you do the English muffin toasting bread or just actual English muffin?
Oh.
Because they have English muffin toasting bread.
Oh, got it. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And so you don't have the crust on the back, so it's just the English muffin part.
It sounds delicious.
Oh, it's like I could literally eat it all day, every day, like Deuce does. What was your question?
Is it weird that English muffins, the actual bread, and I'm not talking about the bread you're talking about, just the actual English muffin bread, I wouldn't like that compared to normal bread, but for some reason it absorbs butter better. So you have butter in that, it tastes better in that than just butter in normal bread.
I put so much butter on it, you could wring it out, it would just drip. It's like a washcloth. I know it's bad for me. My heart's probably all clogged up, but yeah, you're absolutely right. You couldn't. And then I'm not much for putting, I'm kind of a purist when it comes to toast. I just like butter. But a little strawberry jam, that's not so bad either.
Do you ever put the butter with a little cinnamon sugar on it?
Oh, well, I've done that before too, yeah. That's good too. What was your question?
The one anonymous NFL coordinator who likes the selection of Donovan Jackson.
I hope Donovan Jackson's a good selection because you mentioned your tease was somebody likes Kwesi's draft pick. I don't think there are many draft picks Kwesi's that people do like. So hopefully this works. I mean, it'd be nice. And that's all, you can't draft a Pro Bowler or a Hall of Famer with every pick. If you can just get a guy at a position where, you can always depend on him, right? It's like, well, yeah, he's going to miss a block or two, but he's also most of the time, he's going to give you a workmanlike performance. He's going to stay healthy. He doesn't cause any problems, and he just helps you win football games. So if that's what it ends up being, I'm all for it.
If it turns out like this anonymous NFL coordinator says, where he's on the Vikings for 10 years, gets a couple Pro Bowls, if we have a guard with that type of career in this town, he's in the Ring of Honor.
Yes.
With what we've had to do at the interior offensive line spots over the last 13, 14 years, He's in the Ring of Honor. So we'd be very happy with that.
Use the English muffin toasting bread to make French toast. It's amazing. I not thought of that.
Brilliant.
You're more of a French. This is controversial. What camp are you in? Pancakes or French toast?
Pancakes.
I'm in the French toast camp. Though I do like pancakes as well.
Pancakes or waffles?
Yeah. Pancakes. Waffles is third on my list. Where's waffles on yours? Of course, maybe not. I think I'm waffling. No.
If it was just a flat-out plain pancake versus a plain waffle, I would take the waffle. But if you start getting like, have you ever had the... you
don't put chocolate chips in your pancake.
No.
Deuce gets chocolate chip pancakes.
Oh, that's delicious.
No, it's like...
Have you ever had pumpkin pancakes?
No.
Oh, it's the best thing ever. Go to the original pancake house. They also have like a, what do you call it? Some sort of cinnamon. They have some sort of cinnamon pancakes.
Cinnamon strudel?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Go get the pumpkin pancakes at original pancake house and get back to me.
Do you
like pumpkin pie?
This is weird. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Well, this is what's really weird. Normally, you're the one that's very plain. This is yucky. That's okay. I'm a purist when it comes to my pancakes. I just like butter and maple syrup.
Oh, throw a little chocolate chips, a little whipped cream on there.
I don't like all that.
Oh.
Because that makes it more like a dessert
Maple
to me.
syrup.
Did you know Log Cabin makes the best syrup, about the best brand in the land, whether it's regular or butter? It's the best brand in the land. That was your jingle.
Question number 3.
Common, which team currently down 3-2 has a better chance of winning their series? The Edmonton Oilers or the Indiana Pacers?
I sure hope it's the Pacers because I got money bet on them and I've got money bet against the Oilers. Without Halliburton, I think they're done.
Yeah, the Halliburton injury
if Halliburton's
changes
not 100%,
that question.
that's over. Otherwise, I would have said Pacers. But when you've got Connor McDavid
is overrated
and Draisaitl, I would say they have the better chance. But you talked about the goaltender, Bob. We just call him Bob, those of us that follow hockey. And sometimes it doesn't matter how good you could be going against Gretzky, but if your goaltender is standing on his head and making all the saves, he can break a lot of hearts. So yeah, without Halliburton, I would say Edmonton's got the better chance. Yeah.
And that's it for today's edition of 5 questions. Well, actually, 3 questions, but 5 sounds like more than 4.
Someone's wondering if Leo's baseball team could beat the Twins. I think it's possible. Is Leo's team pretty good?
They're having a fun season.
Yeah, okay.
They're having a good time.
Very good.
They're learning.
We'll break. We'll come back another segment. Then we're going to do some talkbacks. I'm going to start scrolling through them and see if I can find some that we like. Hopefully, we've received some. We'll do that next. Common Man program on the Fan.
You know what's great about your investment account with the big guys? It's actually a time machine. Log in and zoom. Welcome back to 1999. It's time for an upgrade. At Public.com, you can invest in almost everything. Stocks, bonds, options, and more. You could even put your cash to work at an industry-leading 4.1% APY. Leave your clunky, outdated platform behind at Public.com. Go to Public.com and fund your account in 5 minutes or less. Paid for by Public Investing Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Full disclosures at Public.com/disclosures.
Unlock smarter learning with Lenovo AI-powered PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors. Head to Lenovo.com and choose from multiple devices to fit your passions. If you're a gamer, you can spend less time stressing about GPUs and CPUs and more time dominating with your AI-enabled smart engine, which optimizes your game performance in real time. Or maybe you're a scientist on the verge of a groundbreaking discovery and need a device with a longer battery life and AI-enhanced tools to give you extra time to finish your research. Or you're a musician preparing for your biggest break and need better, faster AI tools to make digital art a breeze, like creating band posters and t-shirt designs. Or you're a soon-to-be graduate needing to catch a recruiter's eye to land that dream job, so you need cutting-edge smart tools to build your portfolio from scratch. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Plus, college students and teachers get 5% off with an education account on Lenovo.com. A better future is waiting, and it needs you.
Get this. Adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/iHeart. Greenlight.com/iHeart.
Fan.
He's all done with vibes, and I'm all done with lunch. It was so delicious. Yeah, you have to try the English muffin toasting bread, Timmy. It's really, really good. I think you'll find it special. Last week, or maybe the week before, when was it that Brock Purdy signed a very lucrative, I think it was a 5-year contract for something like $265 million? And if you'll remember, we questioned whether Brock Purdy was worth that kind of money. Others have as well. Kind of the going rate for a quarterback, though he's not the highest paid quarterback in the National Football League and shouldn't be. He's not the best quarterback in the league. He's got a lot of talent. Part of the questions that we had when we discussed it was, is he more a product of a really good system? I think Shanahan would be considered one of the more brilliant offensive minds in the league. A lot to work with up until who's their left tackle? Is it Williams? Isn't their left tackle considered the best in pro football for San Francisco? Is that what his name is?
Yes, I'm
Kevin,
skipping my mind right now.
It's Kevin Williams played for us. I think.
It's not Kevin.
Whatever his name is, he was considered the best left tackle. So you got a great left tackle,
Trent Williams.
You got maybe the best left tackle in football, or one of the best. You have the rest of the offensive line is pretty darn good too. Maybe the most versatile running back in pro football, and Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, who is a very unique player, can do a lot of different things for you. Ayuk's good wide out. Is he still with him? Wasn't he bitter because he wasn't getting enough money? They finally signed him?
Yes, they signed him, then he was hurt most of last year. So they might already have buyer's remorse on that one.
And George Kittle at tight end. And it's George Kittle who has rallied to the defense of Brock Purdy. Did you see this story? He because again, you know how online, you have critics everywhere. What a waste of money. He's not that good. And here's what George said. He was on the Rich Eisen show. He said, I don't know what his winning percentage is, but when you win a lot of games and you only need 2 years to go to the NFC Championship or better, I think that's decent. One of my favorite things that I've heard is everyone calls him a check-down merchant. And then the last 2 years, he's had the least amount of check-downs as a starting quarterback. So I think he's doing pretty well. If you remember Purdy, he actually took, I guess, call it a hometown discount, right? I mean, because he probably could have gotten more. I don't know how much more. He said, if you remember, I did not want to take every penny for myself, indicating that still it's a lot of pennies he took.
He got a lot of money.
Yeah, but I guess he felt like he could have taken more, but he was one of those guys that wanted to leave.
Had to settle for that $55 million a year, huh?
Leave a little bit more for. Well, it's not about the money, Tenneby. It's what it represents.
Yeah, it is what it represents.
But how much money he left on the table. If it's just a few million, okay, we're thrilled for your what's the word I'm looking for? Your pain and suffering financially. Man, you really wow, what's the word I'm looking for? You really took a what's the word I'm looking for?
Oh, while you think about it.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. I needed the time to think about it.
Byron Buxton with that elbow injury, he's back in the Twins lineup tonight. He'll be starting in center field. He'll be leading off against the Reds tonight. So Buck is back.
The word I was looking for sacrifice. Well, boy, you really sacrificed a lot, Brock. Thanks for sacrificing for the team. He said, I don't know if there was a narrative of Brock's going to take a pay cut because he's a nice guy or this or that. But for me, man, I play in the NFL. There's 32 starting quarterbacks. It's not the easiest job in the world. And for me, with what I've done and everything, I can hang my hat on the fact that I've had some success in this league. I'm capable of leading an organization all the way to the end, the big game. I've proved that. And he has indeed. But again, you know, Ted, if you remember how I've always judged a quarterback, you can take your QBRs and your completion percentage and your touchdown to interception ratio and all of those sabermetrics and analytics. But for me, it's like you got 112 left on the clock, no timeouts, you're down 6, you need a tutty. You're on the road, it's inclement weather, and you're on your own 10-yard line. Brock Purdy wouldn't be the first guy I'd want to be my quarterback.
Sure.
I don't know where he'd be on that list. I think I'd probably want, right now as we speak, if I was to pick one quarterback that I would want in that situation, regardless of the team, if I could select one quarterback, it'd be J.J. McCarthy. Is that ducky and buddy enough?
Quack, quack.
Thank you. Because, Tenneby, I don't know if you noticed this at training camp last year, but you could just hear the laces on the pigskin just cutting,
the way it spins.
Just cutting through the wind. Just cutting through the wind over at the new Winter Park TCO Performance Center. Tenneby, this, and you can make, it doesn't have to be Mahomes, but I suppose I would say Mahomes. Josh Allen would be a good choice. Joe Burrow would be a good. I mean, the usual suspects, right? I mean, it's not like I'm. Whoa, how'd you come up with that name, Common? Boy, no one ever would have thought of that. But I do like Brock Purdy. And then he could, if you're the San Francisco, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't, right? You can't just say, you know what, we're not going to sign into that kind of a deal. We're just going to go in a different direction. You can't do that either because he is a talented kid. So,
well, because of the circumstances around him, this is now the time for him to rewrite the narrative about him.
Yeah.
Because before it was, you are making $1 million a year against the salary cap, and the team is absolutely loaded around you. You already mentioned the skill positions, one of the best offensive lines in football. Their defense has always been good. Now you are making, I'm just going to go around $55 million, let's say.
Yeah.
Whatever that is, whatever his cap number is, it's significantly larger. They don't have Deebo Samuel anymore, which, by the way, I've seen pictures of him in Washington. It looks like he's added a couple LBs.
Really?
I don't know if he's been working too hard this offseason. But, Kittle's getting a little bit older, and Christian McCaffrey's getting a little bit older, and Trent Williams is getting a little bit older, and they couldn't keep everyone on the offensive line and on the defensive side of the ball that they've had before just because of their salary cap issues. So now's your chance to prove, hey, I wasn't just a guy who was a system quarterback in a great system. I'm able to elevate players around me. So this is his chance to a big year for him in terms of rewriting that narrative.
That is exactly correct. I couldn't agree with you more. But George Kittle wanted to make sure he stood up for his teammate.
Sure.
And
he's been a good teammate.
And, yeah, I didn't expect him to go, yeah, I'm wondering why he took that much money as well. I mean, look what he's had to work with. I mean, I could play quarterback in that situation. So good to see Buck back.
It's just like when I have a mediocre montage and people are just attacking me on text message. You're always just quick to defend me.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you wouldn't throw me under the bus or add on to the ripping.
Though I have criticized you for not. You lost the Wolves season for him by not playing the montage that one game. Was it the Wolves or the Wild? You missed a montage.
I think I missed both.
Yeah, and they lost. So I mean, I'm not going to say.
I think you just made my point.
Right.
Yeah.
I did. Well, tough love covenant. I'm not saying you're solely responsible for the loss, but you had a large hand in it.
You're definitely not George Kittle-like.
No, I'm certainly not. We'll break, come back, and we'll listen to some talkbacks on a Talkback Tuesday here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
You know what's great about your investment account with the big guys? It's actually a time machine. Log in and zoom. Welcome back to 1999. It's time for an upgrade. At Public.com, you can invest in almost everything. Stocks, bonds, options, and more. You could even put your cash to work at an industry-leading 4.1% APY. Leave your clunky, outdated platform behind at Public.com. Go to Public.com and fund your account in 5 minutes or less. Paid for by Public Investing Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Full disclosures at Public.com/disclosures.
Are you shopping for a new laptop while still trying to keep up with technology and AI? Talk about feeling burnt out. But no more. Lenovo.com makes it easier than ever to find the perfect PC. In fact, we'll break it down for you. Step 1. Shop our lineup of AI PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors. Because why deal with downloading new software when you can buy a smarter PC that already comes with all of the AI features and tools? Step 2. Find the one that fits your passion. Whether you're a creative genius, a research scientist, a hardcore gamer, or a future CEO, no dream is too big. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. You can keep up with your ideas as well as any challenges you may face. Step 3. Add to cart and purchase. Oh, if you're a college student or a teacher, make an education account through us and get 5% off your whole order. Shop now at Lenovo.com. A better future is waiting, and it needs you.
Couple 13-14 past here in the Common Man program. I'm Comedy's Tennessee. Mark Rosen will join us in a bit. You know, for those of you who are regular listeners of the program, after today's show, you might be irregular. And if you are, you can, Metamucil will work for that. I use it. Matter of fact, closed circuit to salespeople. Let's get an endorsement for Metamucil. I love it. Orange flavor, so good. No sugar. And you will, you'll be just thrilled every morning. So this 3-hour show, and I don't do a lot of guests. I dole out 3 hours a week to Mark Rosen just out of the goodness of my heart. And it's because it's only 3 hours. I got a lot to say, but you know what we're going to do today, Tennessee? We're going to turn it over to the listeners with our KFAN Talkback. It's a really cool feature on the iHeartRadio app. Download the iHeartRadio app, search for stations, find KFAN, and when you do...
Make it a preset, by the way.
Yes.
Because you can make it a preset.
You can make it a preset. We're one of the most presetted stations in all the country, I'm told, too. Those lips were on iHeartRadio's horn, not mine, but yes, very much so. We're very thrilled with that, and we thank you for it. It's you, the listener. And so... And then you tap the microphone icon in the corner of the screen. You have 30 seconds or less to deliver us an audio message. Tennessee, I'm assuming you're all ready to go. You have it potted up.
Yeah, it's a Talkback Tuesday. As Common mentioned, if you want to send these, for next Tuesday, we'll do this at 1:30 on Tuesdays. Yeah, you just go to the iHeartRadio app, go to KFAN, right next to the play button for the station. There's a microphone, and you can't go longer than 30 seconds. So don't go too long. But yeah, we got a bunch of them for you.
So here's one here.
Oh, you're going to play them?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was going to play them. Okay.
Oh, because I've gone through them. I can screen them in here.
All right. Let's make sure it's working then.
Yeah. You ready? Let's try it.
Hey, Common. Hey, Tenna. This is Dustin up in Detroit Lakes. I want to let you know that I've rescued 5 of 6 toes from toenail fungus using a product called Liquid Antifungal Liquid. You can find it at any major pharmacy. Just wanted you to know, me boy.
These are the controversial talkbacks that you'll only hear on the Common Man program.
Saving lives.
I mean, think about saving toes anyways, or at least toenails. And I think he is referring to, because I think I brought it up a week or so ago, Tennessee, that I have one toenail that's toenail fungus. As a matter of fact, my kids don't like me. Like if we're at the beach, they make me wear sandals. They don't want me wearing open-toed sandals because it just really looks gnarly. Oh, have you ever had toenail fungus?
Yeah. I think hockey skates are not good for them.
Oh, well, yeah. And the only way you can trim it, this is getting very graphic. You have to get one of those, it's almost like a hedge clippers. You got to
get a chainsaw.
Yeah, it's a pliers kind of like, but it's that kind that's for cutting. I can't describe it. There's probably an exact name for the tool, and you got to. Oh, man. It's a lot. I just hate when I have to do it every couple of months. I let it get pretty long. I've been told there is no cure for the summertime blues. There is no cure for Avatar, aggravated Vikings anticipatory traumatic abandonment reaction syndrome. As far as we know, we think winning a big game would cure it, but we just don't know because we've never won one. Though we were really close to getting there just a few years ago when we lost to Philadelphia. All we needed was a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and an onside kick. A touchdown and 2-point conversion and an onside kick. A touchdown, 2-point conversion, onside kick would get back into it. So toenail fungus is not fun. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. That's for sure. So these are the kind of controversial.
It's not like it's painful or anything.
It's just annoying.
Just all looks wise.
Yeah. You ready for the next one, Tenneby? See if I got this one correct. Hold on.
Hey, comment. Just doing a 16-hour drive from Helena, Montana, all the way back to Lino Lakes, Minnesota. Love listening to the Grum. I'm in the middle of nowhere, North Dakota right now. And keep on keeping on me, boy.
Mark Rosen does not know where Lino Lakes, Minnesota is. Matter of fact, he would probably have a better idea finding Helena than Lino Lakes. Remember we asked him where Lino Lakes was?
Yes,
and he had no idea.
No idea.
He's lived here his entire life. He has no idea where Lino Lakes is.
I always love that one.
And it's not that far out.
No, it's a northern suburb of the Twin Cities. It's I think it goes Mounds View, Blaine, and then Lino Lakes. That's the order it goes in as you go further and further out of the Twin Cities.
It's even like east of Blaine. It's where Centennial High School is.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So here's the next one.
Hey, Common. This is Mitch. I was wondering how sources work for, like, inside sources. Why do they give out information? Do they get paid? And if they don't get paid, why do they give out inside information about the team to the insiders? Thanks.
That's a really good question, Tenneby. I'm not even sure I could answer it. It's what many people in the sports media business do, particularly investigative reporters, but even just beat writers, right? Like Michael Russo. We'll use him. He writes for, are you familiar with The Athletic?
The what?
Athletic is an online sort of newspaper. You subscribe to it. It has writers from all over the country, everywhere, every major metropolitan area, covering all the sports, the constant variety of wide world of sports. And so Russo can get inside information like, for instance, hey, we're about to make a trade. We're trading player X for player Z, right? But don't say anything. It's not official yet. So he keeps that under his hat, or he can, hey, just don't tell anybody where you got this. But, and then he'll give me information. I don't know why, I've always wondered that myself. That's a good, maybe you can answer it. I don't know why, like, let's say you were the video coordinator for the Wild, why you would leak information to a media person unless the team wants it.
I was going to say, sometimes they're trying to control the message.
Correct.
And it's not just from the team. A lot of it, I think, comes from agents, right? Like every contract that's signed, I know you're not on X, but I always find a funny one, like, let's say Aaron Rodgers signs with the Pittsburgh Steelers. News is about to break, and you'll have like 5 national NFL writers that all just post it at the exact same time, because all what happened is they just got a text from the agent. They were all in a group text from the agent, and they're all basically writing the exact same thing down,
right?
Spreading it. It's like, well, it's not like they all just found, I think sometimes from a team standpoint, they're trying to control the message, or there's someone from within the team that doesn't like the messages being sent out and is trying to, well, here's actually what's going on.
Yes, right. That's
you might just have people that just like to yap.
Well, that is another one.
Might just like the drama.
And they also like to be, it feeds your ego to say, I'm an insider. I got the scoop, and I'm going to give you a little bit here. Yeah, so you're right. There's part of that.
Even maybe on Friday when Corey Kova's in for the Program Password Invitational, because I don't know the exact details of this story. I don't know if he's ever, I think he's talked about it on air. Back when David Kahn was here, running the Wolves, Kahn got to together with some media members, and I think Corey was one of them, because I think he was doing like Wolves fan line or whatever at the Wolves After Dark or whatever he was doing, Sludge and Lake.
That's when before Cove's ego got out of control, where now he doesn't have to pretend he cares about sports.
So like David, I think, told him and others, like, hey, I'm gonna send out this fake rumor. It might have been like a Carmelo Anthony rumor, like, hey, the Wolves are interested in Carmelo Anthony. And it was just him trying to play the media and trying to, almost like negotiate through the media or the...
Sure.
Now, wherever Anthony was at the time, they might make a bad decision or poor decision based off this information, right? And they never had any intention of signing this player, but he intentionally sent out a rumor that they wanted to sign that player. So I might have butchered that part of the story, but Corey could probably tell you on Friday.
Well, I've broken a number of stories over the years. My sources aren't like inside organizations. They're just somebody who knew somebody that said, hey, by the way. And so, because I think I've made it clear I don't spend a lot of time hanging around clubhouses, locker rooms, and front offices. Just doesn't do anything for me. I got better things to do with my time. I'll let the others break the news and then analyze it. It's like even, people give me a hard time when they say, how can you analyze a game when you never even watched it? Well, because I have other people watching it for me and people I trust can explain what happened, and then you just analyze what happened. If they say that, somebody went 1 for 16 and got kicked out of the game on a technical foul, I would say he had a bad night. It was not hard to analyze, is it? He probably was cold shooting. Couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. Couldn't hit his way out of a wet paper bag if it was a ball player, and his temper got the best of him. He got tossed out of the game. And there's not much more to go. So, but insiders are fun. They are. And
maybe Rosen could talk about it.
Well, he's plugged in.
During his tour, right? Like the framework of a deal with Joe Mauer. I bet he would just tell you, hey, he had a good relationship with Joe Mauer. Joe trusted him.
Yes.
He was asking him about, that kind of thing.
But we don't know with Rosen because he's got so many different insiders.
Yeah.
Here's another, it's a Talkback Tuesday here on the Fan.
Hey, Common KC guy here. Want to talk a little flop, sweat, and tears? I was in attendance at your most recent Birdie Golf show, and honestly, I believe the reason the crowd was so tepid at best was for an advertised 6 p.m. start time. LMG didn't even go on until 7:20. I was wondering, as the ambassador to Minnesota's comedy scene, could you shed some light on why the actual start might have been so late? Or was there a reason for that? Or was it just because Meat Sauce was still struggling to come up with material? I'll hang up and listen.
Who was the artist that was notorious? Was it Madonna? Notorious for going on like 2 hours late? Every single concert 2 hours late. We decided to take a page out of Madonna's playbook, and we just decided we'd go on late. Actually, there was a misunderstanding, and Meat Sauce and I talked about it. We thought the doors were supposed to open at 6. That's what I was told. And the show was to start at 7:30. We actually started at 7:20 because we said, looks like everybody's here. We thought we were starting 10 minutes early. And then as the show went on, and I would say not even tepid. I mean, Meat Sauce bombed. Larry Mondello guy and Meat Sauce bombed. I see. No! Wait, hold on.
Once again, you're not George Kittle.
No, I'm not George Kittle. And but we will take corrective measures next time. Because I was told with doors at 6 and the show at 7:30, and we didn't start the show. We started the show at 7:20. I thought we started at 7, and I guess there was a misunderstanding where something got lost in the translation. I don't know how it was advertised. I did not see it, but that was not good. I would be the first to admit that. Here's another.
Common, Tenna, I miss Purple Prey so much that I was just curious with the NBA draft around the corner if there's anything that we can do with that. Thanks, fellas.
Purple Prey, Purple Prey. Could you do a
Wolves version? Probably would have been better for a Wild version, but
yeah,
they don't have a first round pick this year.
Yeah. I don't know if we can pull that off.
Also, you'd have to call it something different, so then you wouldn't be able to have the Nordo song.
That's it.
Right.
Because I don't know. We could go...
And that's really the only reason for the segment, is to play the song.
Yeah.
So if you have to take the song out, then what would be the point?
Well, the late... Gosh, I'm really starting to lose it. He did the song Werewolves of London.
Warren Zevon.
Is there a way we could do Werewolves of Minneapolis? No, it doesn't work. We could change something. We could get an order.
Get him to go, woo.
Yeah. Who will the Wolves draft? Woo. All right, send that back to rewrite and punch it up. Here's another.
I feel like we talk statistically like the Vikings offense was a good running team last year, but there's just left a lot to be desired when it mattered most. And so if we're going to rely on this play action like you guys are talking about, we've got to be able to run the ball, and KOC's got to bring somebody in or spend the summer researching some of his colleagues in the league and get that thing hammered down. Minnesota's got to pound the rock.
Now, I will tell you this, Tim, and you probably realize this right away. That was not a text. That was...
I was going to say, that had to have been a 9 to noon.
That was
intercepted.
That was intercepted. You don't ask me those kinds of questions. I think people would realize that, though I can answer it. I played both sides of the ball. I was a fierce pass rushing, rock and Gibraltar run stopping defensive lineman, a precise route running, sure-handed pass catching tight end. It sounds like they were saying we're going to go a lot of play action this year because... Because why wouldn't we tend to be?
Because we got JJ.
We've got JJ. We've got Addison. We've got Hockenfuss. We got Naylor, and then
best offensive line in football.
Yeah, and then who's the other wide receiver we just drafted? That's going to
Ty Felton.
Yeah, we got Ty Felton now.
And we got that running game.
Yeah, and we got Oliver. We got Ollie. You know, not only can he block, but he can also catch passes as well. And then that running game. We got Aaron Jones, who says he's basically Rosen-like. He says he's getting better with age, much like Rosen. And then we've got the kid from, what was the kid from San Fran's name again?
Jordan Mason.
Yeah, and he's a talented running back. So when you...
I think it's going to be a little more 50-50 with those two than most people know. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get that from some inside information? Do you have an insider?
No, just based off of the analytics from last year. Had him as one of the better... I was just tackle breaking running backs in football.
I was just wondering for a couple of reasons. One, we were just talking about insiders.
Not an inside source.
We thought maybe you had an inside source, and you are an extended family member, so it wouldn't shock any of us if you had some inside information. Yeah, I mean, I think the most successful offenses are the ones you don't know if they're going to run or they're going to throw because they're both maybe not equally as good. Let's go to the Kitties, Tennessee. Why do you think their offense was so efficient? Well, because they have a great 1-2. They might have the best one. Well, now the Vikings do, Mason and Jones, right? But prior to that, I would be willing to guess, and maybe you can come up with another running back duo in the league that I'm forgetting or not aware of. Overall, Gibbs Montgomery was pretty good. Right?
Yeah, it's hard to be top that.
What was their nickname again?
Sonic and Knuckles.
Sonic and Knuckles. And then Goff is talented enough where he had a lot of weapons. He had Amon-Ra St. Brown, their tight end.
Sam Laporta. They got the speed merchant, Jameson Williams.
So, and a good offensive line. It's the same thing. Live by the dog and die by the dog. When you can run the ball and pass the ball, play action freezes them up. It's not that difficult. Quarterback drops back, pretends he's going to hand it off. You have to respect it. It's not like, well, we know he's faking the handoff because they don't have a running game. It's like, if you're that linebacker, you're Mike. You're my golf spy. What are you going to do? You got to hold your position. You're like frozen there in time, and then you can do all sorts of things. So yeah, it would be wonderful, and they do have. We think the offensive line is going to be better. On paper, it looks better, especially the interior. That's why they blew it up. We saw what happened against the Rams last year in the playoff game. The middle of our line was beaten soundly. So we've gone in a different direction there. We do have some talented wide receivers, including arguably the best wide receiver in pro football. Tight end's good. And Jones was, he was as good as advertised. I wasn't sure what we're going to get from him, but he was pretty good. And I'm with you. I like the Mason guy, and they probably will do more of a 50-50 thing because it also keeps your other running back fresh. Matter of fact, I have this idea. You go out and you sign like the 5 best free agent running backs in pro football, and then you just rotate them in and out so they stay fresh. Well, this is a really good idea. I've never heard this before. So if you have two really good running backs, you have some wide receivers, an offensive line, then play action, the best teams can, that's what you want, right? Is play. You don't want to we know they're just going to pass. So go ahead, hand it off to your terrible running back with your terrible offensive line that can't run block. We don't care. Well, it's like, for instance, for certain teams, like, let's use Gobert for an example. I don't think many teams are worried about him offensively. The other team, like if you're playing here and go, got to watch out for Gobert because he could go off tonight. If he's not 2 feet from the basket, he can't score, so you don't worry about him, right? Mike Conley's getting a little long in the tooth. You don't worry so much about Mike Conley anymore, I guess, right? So certain players, you don't care if they get the basketball. Other ones, you've got to, it's like with Ant, you got to collapse on them. And you can't let them get downhill or you're in big trouble. And so the same thing goes in the National Football League is if you can play action, man, you should have success offensively. You really should. I thought it was a pretty good answer. I like these PA questions. See if we have any more PA ones that are worthwhile. I didn't even look at. Let me see what this one is. Boy, they really get into the inside football.
Oh, they get in deep.
Let's try this one.
Hey, Coach. We saw at the end of the Denver OKC game in the playoffs when Jokic missed the shot and Gordon hit the dunk at the buzzer to win. I've always thought the intentional air ball could be a super deadly late game play. Is that just something that you would never really want to practice, or am I crazy? That, and also the missed free throw. Why do we throw it the way we do? If everyone can move on the shot, shouldn't you shoot a big rainbow, allowing people to move early?
He's put a lot of thought into this.
What was the first one?
The intentional air ball.
Oh.
You know what they call that?
What's that?
An alley-oop.
That's exactly what they call it. The alley-oop. I like that. That's a great name for it. Did you just come up with that? The alley-oop. I think he was on to something with, it doesn't say, because Finch was on today, right?
Yes.
I don't think PA played any of these. I hope he didn't play that one for the coach. But you know what? On the missed free throw, I think that's actually a good idea because they're always trying to just throw the line drive and have it ricochet. Throw it way up, it hits, it bounces way up, and then now you fight.
I guess in the line drive is just easier to make that throw.
Yeah, I guess.
Right, the high rainbow, you got to be a lot more precise with that shot. Probably still a better chance of it going in than the line drive.
Maybe. I wouldn't dismiss the suggestion. He may have just invented that might be the greatest invention since the light bulb. No one's ever thought of it before. Matter of fact, that would be, to me, that's on the same level as saying a team should sign the 5 best free agent running backs in pro football and have them on the same team. Things people don't think of. Thinking outside the box is what some of us do, and that's what he did. We appreciate your help. That was fun. We'll do it again next week. We call it a Talkback, not a Talker Tuesday, but a Talkback Tuesday. And as Tim B mentioned, all they have to do is download the iHeartRadio app and set the fan as a preset. Then look for that microphone icon in the corner of the screen. Tap it. You got 30 seconds. It delivers an audio message. We appreciate your contributions today. We'll pause. We welcome the legendary one, Mark Rosen, into Studio A here at 1600 Utica Avenue South as the Grum rolls on. Yeah, they got the Matt Bruggeman on the fan.
And here we have a specimen from the early 2000s, a legacy investing platform. Please don't touch the exhibit, folks. It could crash.
Ready to step out of the financial history museum? At Public.com, you can invest in almost everything. Stocks, bonds, options, and more. You could even put your cash to work at an industry-leading 4.1% APY. Leave your clunky, outdated platform behind. Go to Public.com and fund your account in 5 minutes or less. Paid for by Public Investing Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Full disclosures at Public.com/disclosures.
Want to feel more creative but don't have the right laptop? Lenovo.com can help. Look through our legendary lineup of AI-powered PCs and devices and find the one that fits your passion. Our PCs powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, as well as cutting-edge AI tools, allow students to focus, learn, and create with ease. That's the power of Lenovo with Intel inside. Plus, college students and teachers can get 5% off their order. Shop now on Lenovo.com. The future's waiting, and it needs you.